What's the most popular group that books your boats?
A lot of bachelorette parties and birthday parties, a lot of celebrations.
Do the bachelorette parties get wild? All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Get After It. I'm your host, Johnny Velarde, and I'm joined today with Mr. Grant from Wake2Wake, Florida. It's a pleasure to have you on, man.
It's nice to
Welcome,
Thanks
welcome
for
to the
having me.
show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I appreciate the opportunity. Um, so Wake to Wake, we offer 90-minute tours, sunset tours, dolphin tours, and historical tours. And then we also do the 90 minutes for the Christmas lights when Nights of Lights comes, and we'll have hot cocoa, hot apple cider, fleece blankets. Everything we do is private.
Mm-hmm.
And you would do with all those options, you get a 10% local discount. You also get, if you're a frontline worker, teacher, hospital worker, veterans, you'll also get a 10% discount with those.
Nice.
And then we do the 2 to 8 hour sandbar days. Those are going to be like a local experience. All of our captains grew up here. We know all this like hidden gems, great spots to go. We try to set everybody up not as a tour. We want it to feel like your boat day still. So we bring anything that we would do with our friends and family, 15-foot rafts, tons of sandbar games like putt-putt, frisbees, footballs. We have everything set up. We just kind of go to all different spots around the intercoastal, islands, beaches, sandbars. But it's still our guests. It's like completely up to them. We just give them options, and then they get to choose where to go.
Yeah.
But we would love to have you guys out sometime.
Yeah, I'd love to. So right now it's probably it's starting to get busy with the weather, like 80s, 90s, about to get
Yeah,
up and off.
yeah. The water, like after the last cold front a couple of weeks
Yeah.
ago, the water is getting warmer, and it actually is 10 degrees warmer in the intercoastal than it is in the ocean.
Really?
So when we go like a little bit further down, there's a place called Driftwood Beach. I think it's about like 76 degrees right now. But it's definitely starting to pick up. Everything we do is organically grown. So it's word of mouth, support from the community, referrals, returning guests. So every year it's gotten a little bit better and better.
So, yeah.
First 2 years were scary, like any new business.
Mhm.
But yeah, I definitely see growth this season already coming into it.
So how long's Wake2Wake been in business?
May 1st will be our 4th year.
Okay, 4th year. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. And you're from St. Augustine?
My mom's lived here, like most of my life, but a lot of my family's from Bradenton, and then my dad lived in St. Louis too, so I kind of bounced around.
Nice.
See,
Yeah.
one of my captains has been here for over 5 generations. Another one of our captains, he's born and raised here. Another guy who helps us out, he's born and raised here. So we've all been on these waters most of our
5 generations. That's a long time.
Yes,
bro.
yeah, it's pretty nice because like a lot of his history I learned from him, and then we'll learn like history feed off each other for our historical tours. And we love to we're also passionate about what we do. It's what we grew up doing with our friends and family.
Yeah.
And we're passionate about where we live. So, like he'll throw out some history that he learned from his family, and then I'll like dive deep. It's a curse sometimes, but then I can elaborate off these stories. And I'm like, wow, it's like very accurate, and the hidden history in St. Augustine is unbelievable. I feel like I'm always learning something new.
What's the most popular group that books your boats?
A lot of bachelorette parties and birthday parties, a lot of celebrations.
Do the bachelorette parties get wild?
Pretty tamed. I mean, St. Augustine. It's
Yeah.
not a big party area. They're pretty.
It's not Miami or
Yeah.
Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah, but it really does just mean the world to us that they even choose to celebrate with us. Like I mentioned, these are like our core memories as kids growing up on the water. To share that experience, and then also like to have everybody together celebrating something, and you're able to take them to these beautiful spots and get everything ready for their boat day, get the wraps out, get the games out. And then at the end of it, when you get back to the dock, like the joy on their face and the memories they just created, it just makes it all worth it.
Do you do fishing charters too, or not really?
We don't do fishing charters. Our boats aren't set up for that. We have seating all the way around the railings. We do encourage our guests, like for family outings especially, like bring your poles.
Yeah.
You can fish off the sandbars and off the beaches.
Got it.
If there's like 2 people, I'll take them. Like I know a lot of good spots. A couple of our captains are big fishermen.
Yeah.
But if there's too many people, it's just
So it's more like the fun, chill, kind of drinking, having fun vibe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
cool.
explore the intercoastal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I've been on a couple like sunset cruises, like in San Diego. I did one in Monterey, or it was a whale watching one.
yeah.
And then in the Bahamas for my wife and I's honeymoon, we went on like a fishing charter. That was fun, just the 2 of us.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's
So
always good time.
yeah, it's cool to it's definitely cool to book your own thing and especially because I don't own a boat, so
Yeah.
book the afternoon, and then you don't have to worry about it. You just go have fun and walk off, and that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the easier part. Everything we do is private. Like
Mhm.
so we can have up to 10 guests. I would love for you guys to get a crew together. For sunsets are my favorite. The
Mhm.
dolphin's really active. And we have like beautiful sunsets here.
Yeah.
And it always sets right over the downtown area. So I'd love to take you out for one of those. It'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
It's really neat is a lot of people don't know this, but we have over 90 resident dolphins in St. Augustine. So we have local dolphins that don't migrate. They stay here all year round. Which is really nice because like almost every trip we go out, we see big pods of dolphins.
Mhm.
So it's pretty nice.
So you're from Bradenton. When did you move to St. Augustine? Did you go to
Well, I lived
college
in
or
Bradenton and I lived in St. Louis.
St. Louis?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I bounced around. My mom moved here a long time ago. I finally moved here full time 5 years ago. I was doing construction and doing flat work concrete, and like custom work.
Mhm.
And then whenever just always being here, like with my mom being here, just loved the community. And then I was ready to start my own business. I was like, I already know where I would like to
Mhm.
make that happen because the community in St. Augustine is just so great.
Mhm.
I think one of the biggest part was like a decade ago, I was just at the farmer's market and I was just it just like really hit me, especially as I got older. I'm like, wow, like the community, the support, the local businesses, like this would be such an amazing place to start a business one day.
Yeah.
So,
How old were you when you started the company?
uh, 30.
30?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Did you go to college?
I went to a community college in Steamboat, Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah, just get some snowboarding in. I'm a water baby. Like all of our captains were all grew up on the water. But I had torn my ACL wakeboarding,
Mm.
and it just so happened that it would be healed around snowboarding time. So I was like, you know what? I'll just go here for a little bit, and then I don't have to miss. And then whenever I'll transfer, I was going to go to Texas State. They had a really good wakeboarding team. And then after I was in Steamboat for a little
Damn, so you were good at wakeboarding.
yeah, yeah. That was definitely my passion. So Wake2Wake started, the Wake2Wake is gapping Wake2Wake on a wakeboard.
Mhm.
So it started originally because I wanted to do wakeboarding and wake surfing. And then the tours and rentals were just to kind of keep everything afloat because there's not a lot of money behind it.
Mhm.
You know, our business has a lot of overhead and it's more of like moving towards my passion. So I'm the happiest I've ever been. But like with the pay from when I was in construction, there's nothing, nowhere near that.
Mhm.
But the tours took off and the sandbar days took off, but the wakeboarding and wake surfing, the algorithm wasn't quite there. So we had to put a pause on that. This summer, we're looking for a wakeboard boat. So we're going to start offering water sports again. So we can like take our guests out to do wakeboarding, wake surfing, everything we grew up doing on the intercoastal. And then also we can stop at sandbars and stuff.
So the wakeboarding wasn't making that great of money, but the tours are, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. It was like the algorithm online. People it wasn't popping up. People weren't seeing the wakeboarding. They weren't seeing the wake surfing, but they were like catching the attention of the sandbar days and the boat rentals.
Yeah.
Um, but now I get phone calls all the time for wakeboarding and wake surfing, but we no longer have a wakeboard boat. So we're in the market looking for a new ski boat now.
All right. Cool.
One of my good friends comes out of Crescent Beach. Let's Ride Water Sports. His name's Todd Bourgeois, and he's got a wakeboard boat. It's like a side company for him, but we use his sometimes, and he'll take guests out, but we try to send them that way so they can still get out on the water.
Nice. So you've been in business 4 years. How's the Nights of Lights tours? Is that pretty lucrative or?
Nights of Lights, yeah, it definitely gets us through a season.
Mhm.
It is a blessing that we have that in our small town. I know it's pain for a lot of people with all the traffic, but it does help out us small businesses, so we don't get to like a standstill. Because in St. Augustine we do have seasons, so it does get cold here.
Mhm.
Nights of Lights are actually one of my favorite tours to do. We put the tops down so you can see all the stars, not as much light pollution out on the water. And then we have the hot cocoa, hot apple cider, fleece blankets. Everybody's all cozy.
Mhm.
And then cruising around at nighttime, you can really hear the dolphins because it's so quiet out.
That's cool, yeah.
So
You
that's
guys
definitely a good experience.
Can you, at some point, you're just cruising along the bayfront there, like, with all the restaurants and stuff like that?
Yeah, yeah, we leave from the lighthouse. So you can actually take 312 and skip all the traffic. But we just cruise real slow from the lighthouse, and then we'll go by the Lions Bridge, and then we'll go right in front of all the lights. Then we go back by the cross where the first settlers landed, and then we'll turn around to make the trip in front of the lights again, and then head back to the lighthouse.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, Night Slice is great for like the local economy. There's have you seen the Grinch guys on the
Oh yeah,
yeah, just
with the tasting tours.
yeah, just stuff like that. It's wild. Yeah.
Yeah,
People and you can go on their site and like they're sold out for next night. So like it's
yeah, yeah. They crush it. They
yeah.
do really good, and really stay in character. It's awesome
Mhm.
to watch them.
Yeah.
We did a giveaway with iTrip Vacations, and it was part of the tasting tours with the Grinch, and then a Night to Lights trip with us. So yeah, those guys are great. I love whenever I'm crossing the street and they have to run you off.
Yeah. So if you don't mind talking, because I like this is a business channel too. So like,
Yeah.
can you go into like some numbers? Like, what's like a good year for boat tours? I guess.
Um, the best time is gonna be all of our holidays. We really rely on our holidays for Memorial Weekend, 4th of July, and Labor Day. Those are definitely the big three to help us get ahead as a small business. But in the summer, we stay very consistent. Right now, with like spring break, for instance, we were busy on the weekends. During the weeks, fluctuated. We had like one or two little like tours usually. But in the summer, there's days where I'll work like 16 days in a row.
Gee.
So,
Yeah.
it's definitely, and like I mentioned, everything we do is organically grown. So,
That's
um,
nice. You don't have to pay for Google ads and Facebook ads and
yeah,
marketing and stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah, with all the overhead in the company, and then also it's just a lot more genuine that way. And it has really made a big difference with our company. So a lot of it is support, though. It's
Yeah.
referrals. It's people taking the time to leave reviews.
Mm-hmm. Reviews are huge. I saw you had like a couple hundred Google reviews. Yeah.
Yeah, on Google. And then throughout the web, we have about 500 5-star reviews.
On like TripAdvisor and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yelp, TripAdvisor. There's a platform called Get My Boat and Boat Setter.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Airbnb for boats. So it's really excellent. If you're
Interesting. Yeah.
anywhere traveling in the world, you can jump on there and you can find a boat at an affordable price. But but yeah, that has also like helped us, that platform, a lot. Um,
Nice. Yeah. We just started using for the parking lots. We use Spot Hero. It's like a software where, like, say you're driving in from Daytona or Miami and you've never really been here and you're just looking for a place to park, you can go on Spot Hero and it'll show you like the different lots that are listed and you can like reserve your parking so you don't have to
oh, that's nice.
stress about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that down.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Are you guys using any AI like to help bookings or anything like that? No.
No, I just manage everything on my own.
Nice.
Our social media is ran by my wife. It's what she specializes in, shit. But everything else, like bookings and stuff,
Mm.
I just manage everything. Cool. It's nice to talk to the guest one on one, hear what kind of experience they're wanting, so I can customize it for them.
Mhm.
And just like builds trust with them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we tried using like a AI assistant, and it's just like we're in the service-based business too, and people call us for weddings and birthday parties, funerals, corporate events, or whatever. So they want to hear someone live. Like
yeah,
if you're planning your bachelorette party in St. Augustine, like you want to talk to someone. It doesn't have to be the owner, but it could just someone that knows what you're trying to get and have that connection. So that's
yeah. Everybody has their like specific questions.
hmm
They want to feel that trust. They want to, especially we're on like a smaller level, so it's just easier to manage that way too.
hmm
But it is, I it's also like for celebrations, we love to give, so it also helps. Like if I know it's a bachelorette party, we might want to add in something in the group. Whereas if AI managed that, they wouldn't get that discount or they wouldn't get those extra add-ons.
hmm
So
Yeah. What's you mentioned overhead. What's go talk about like some of the expenses that are in your business.
yeah,
And what
overhead. So we do trailer all of our vessels. This helps make it a lot cheaper and affordable for fuel, especially right now for our guests. And then, but we do have the wear and tear on the trailers because of that. Also, it helps us keep the boats detailed and clean.
Mhm.
But then we also have to pay for the storage. Main thing is insurance. Insurance is incredibly high for boat rentals, boat charters, all around Florida. A lot of rental companies in South Florida have like had record-breaking incidents and accidents. A lot of companies seem to just hand the keys over to people. Driving a boat is a lot harder than driving a car.
Mhm.
Because of that, they have raised the insurance to where it's like extremely hard to stay competitive with it. We are very particular. We don't do self-guided unless you know or you've been on intercoastal waterways. You can pass our quiz about reading channel markers. Usually, it's people that like grew up here and have been on the waters for a long time.
How do you verify that? Like, they have, like, a certification or something, or
Well, I hope that I trust whenever they book it, and then when they get to the dock, I go through, and also they had to have owned or previously owned a boat. But once they get to the dock, I'll quiz them and ask them about channel marks.
you know if someone knows,
Yeah,
yeah.
and there has been a few times where I've had to step in and like, I apologize, but I have friends and family out on the water. I'm not gonna. I feel like whenever you're just handing the keys over like that, it's part of like greed almost. And I'm like, look, I will captain for free and take your family out for your experience, but I cannot let you take the boat out,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And that's happened a few times. I've seen a lot of, there's a lot of like times where I see people stuck on sandbars and rentals, almost getting in accidents, flying through no wake areas. And it's just like, I can't bring myself to put people at risk like that. And we never will.
Yeah.
So the majority of our stuff is chartered by local captains and, just tours.
That's good.
Yeah. We try to be different. We try to just keep everybody safe out there. Mainly.
For the insurance, do you, because insurance for us is really expensive too. Like,
Yeah.
it's whatever we do in revenue, insurance is probably like 10% of the 10% of that. Do you shop it out, or do you just go with like the same? Is it like a local person, or?
So I actually, they're part of Bowie, but it's like a company that's off of them. Bowie's like a really good platform for rental companies, an insurance company. But I have like great standings with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been very fortunate. They've like quoted me on what usually would be like a 5-year company with no incidents.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I told them my process, I've showed them all of my reviews, I've gone like through step by step of qualifications, and I've let them look at the bookings we have compared to self-guided, and when they book with a U.S. captain.
Mm-hmm.
With Wake2Wake, how that goes is we do a boat rentals, but then we'll give you a list of our captains, or you can choose a U.S. Coast Guard captain, and then you add that on. But they see that we're like trying to keep everybody safe, so we have gotten a little bit of a discount, so we always stay with them.
Nice. Yeah. Let's see.
And then every 100 hours, you have to do maintenance on the vessels too.
Do you clean? Do you like wash? How's the detailing? Is that easy, or is it
Yeah.
really time consuming, or?
It takes about an hour, so
It's not that bad.
and it's like so each boat in the morning, I'll like take off the covers, we cover them all up. I'll hand detail them real quick, and then we'll put them because they're already clean from the night before.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just do like a quick wipe down. We'll take them out, and then before each trip, we give ourselves 30 minutes to clean the floors, clean all the seats, pick everything up, make sure it's spotless for our next guest. At the end of the day, when we trailer them back to the storage, we do a full outside detail, inside detail, and then we put seat covers on everything to keep them nice and pristine. They're about 4.5 years old. We have no rips, no tears. So we're all about maintaining. We just want all of our guests to have that like nice new boat experience. When I started, traveling around and like wanting to wakeboard and stuff, I've been on a lot of rentals where I question if I want to sit down. And I wanted to make that a huge part of Wake2Wake. Like we want everybody to have that experience, that not worry about if they're going to make it back to the dock type experience,
Yeah, that's awesome. Take pride in the service and the brand.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have 9 shuttles in California, and it's probably very similar to cleaning the boats. Like, we gotta get them detailed every single week. We probably spend, I don't know, probably $600-700 a week just in cleaning.
Yeah.
Because we pay our guy Anthony, and he goes there with the detail and the vacuum and cleans the wheels, and takes like 4 hours. Yeah, to clean them all. But when they show up to the event, the shit's all shiny and the wheels are like wet looking, and they're in, the guys are dressed nice with name tags. So
Yeah,
it makes a
it
big
makes a
difference.
difference,
Makes
yeah.
a huge difference.
Says a lot about your company.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. I've been on some trips where like the groups are getting off and I'm getting on, and like there's like chips in the seats and
Yeah.
rushing to put you on there, and I'm like, takes 10 minutes,
Yeah.
but
What's what are some challenges that people don't see when it comes to owning like a boat tour company?
um definitely like the seasonal, like seasons, like you're gonna have your like October is right after summer, it's before the holidays, so we do have our downtime where it gets really slow.
Mhm.
February is the same way. So, really just managing, um, making sure that you're not investing too much into your money into the company at that time, and like, really taking time to wind down and regroup for the next season. Nice lights would be after summer. Um, and then whoever, if we, we have our standards of who we do self-guided, but the stress behind self-guided,
Mhm.
um, I don't know how some of these companies do it. It's like,
So self-guided, just you just give the keys to someone and pray that they don't
yeah,
destroy it?
this is one of the last naturally shaped intercoastals in Florida. It's extremely narrow, it's windy, tons of sandbars.
And a sandbar is when you're just cruising and you just hit sand,
Yeah,
and there you have to get towed to get out or something?
sandbars are constantly moving and getting built up. Whenever the tides change, our tides are about 5.5 to 6 feet every 6 hours. So when the tides are the ocean's coming in and out,
Mhm.
pushing sand and building up in different areas.
How do you know where those are at? With the GPS or something, or
GPS isn't going to show a lot of the sandbars because they're forming all the time. They're getting
there's
bigger
a
and
jangling all the time?
yeah. So knowing the area really well, staying on the main channel, staying in between the channel markers, not
Those
taking
big wooden
shortcuts.
things with the triangles or whatever?
Yeah, there's a red triangle and a green square. You are supposed to stay in between those at all times. That's your main channel.
So as
Uh,
long as you stay between those, you'll never hit a sandbar?
if you stay in the middle of them, yes. So being the last naturally shaped intercoastal, it is very windy. So as you go into the intercoastal, some of our sandbars or some of our like channel markers, the big poles with the triangle, some sandbars actually are built in around them,
Mm,
are like built up next to them. So people are like, oh, I was on the left side of the channel marker in between the green and the red. Well, if you're really close to it, there's still sand right
'cause
there.
it
So you need to
moves,
be
yeah.
right in the center.
Mhm,
Um, that's the best part about our captains too, since we're like most of us like grew up here for so long, we know exactly where the sandbars are.
mhm.
So we can take little shortcuts. But if you're not from here, I always tell everybody, like even people that don't rent with me, if I see them getting on another boat, hey, make sure you stay on the channel markers.
Mhm.
Just try to keep everybody safe.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you hit a sandbar going, what, 30 or 40 miles an hour,
It can be
that'll
it
hurt.
could be fatal.
Yeah,
Yeah. It
that
can.
won't feel good.
Yep.
Uh,
I see it a lot. We see people out stuck on sandbars out here all the time.
how do those boats that are like there's like I've seen like 2 or 3 boats, they're just stuck out there, like, kinda tilted over. What happened with them?
Like going over the bridges,
Something like yeah,
boats and stuff.
sailboats, yeah.
So a lot of people, when they visit, they just assume like, oh, that must have been from a hurricane. Majority of those are from full moons. When we have a full moon, we have unpredictable high tides and unpredictable low tides. So you can anchor up anywhere off the main channel in St. Augustine for I think it's up to like 30 days before you have to move it slightly. But whenever you do choose, and then like in front of downtown, those big circled balls that the boats are tied to.
Down yeah, yeah.
So those are called mooring balls, and they're like concrete anchored into the ground. You can rent those, which is a smart way to do it. But a lot of people just anchor off the main channel with a regular anchor. When a full moon comes, tides unpredictable highs, it rips their anchor up, and then
Mhm.
they drift into shore.
While they're
And
sleeping.
while they're sleeping, or if they just are parking their boat there just so they can avoid those fees.
Yeah,
Then when the tides are unpredictable lows, it pushes them farther into the marsh, and then when the tide goes back up, and then they just slowly get pushed further and further on shore.
yeah,
So yeah, most of those are from the full moon.
got it. Yeah, I see it and it's like, "Damn, that sucks." Um, let's see here. What for the next, what's the vision like for the next couple years? What are you trying to do with the company?
Um, Definitely what I mentioned at the beginning, we're working on bringing our water sports back in. Wakeboarding, wake surfing, tubing. We want to have like the full boat day experience like I grew up with all of us grew up with as kids. Big part of it is going to the sandbars, the beaches, having fun, spending time with family and friends. But like in between that, going to the next spot, it was always like wakeboarding, wake surfing, learning new water sports. So I'm like really, really looking forward to incorporating that.
Nice.
And that's what I'm super passionate about. So
That's awesome.
that's definitely that. And then I think we want to add one more vessel, probably like a large pontoon to where we can fit bigger groups. Right now we can fit 10 on each boat. But we have a lot of like bachelorette parties and celebrations and bachelor parties that are groups of 12 to 15. So it'd be nice if we can keep everybody on one vessel. Right now we'll take 2 of them out side by side, which is a lot of fun. You get 2 of everything. But yeah, those are the 2 main goals. So
That's like the same growing pains we were having. Like we only had the 14 passenger sprinter vans, and we would get a lot of inquiries for like, oh, I have 18 people, or I have 24 people, or 28 people. So we would lose a lot of deals because we didn't have the bigger buses.
Yeah.
So we got a 22 passenger, and then we got a 28 passenger. And with those, like you were mentioning, getting like a bigger boat to fit everyone, it's just nice to have that offering, because it's, you can still do the job if you take 20 people in 2 separate boats, but it's a lot more fun to take 20 people in one big boat. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like that sense of trust, like knowing that everybody's together.
Yeah.
So they know they're all having the same experience.
Yeah.
We do miss out on a lot of parties that are like, oh, we wanted to keep everybody on one boat.
Yeah. And they'll pay to have everyone together because the bigger boat that's probably less people have that to offer. So you can set yourself apart from like the smaller operators.
Yeah. And that's with the wakeboard boats. Surprisingly, like even 22-foot ones, you can fit like 14, 15 people. They offer way more seating.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely going to be our next venture, is a wakeboard boat, because then we can charter larger groups and we can do the water sports. And then eventually we're hoping to add on a 4th boat to the fleet. Being a awesome community, I always say, I think St. Augustine, like true locals, is collaboration over competition. So when I do get those larger groups that want to stay together, I have several small businesses here that I can refer them to that do have big enough boats.
Nice.
So everybody still is going to get their experience, That's all we really genuinely care about. We just want everybody to be out there, have fun, and stay safe.
Yeah, I love that. What's the cost of like a 10-person pontoon boat or something?
Oh, like for just the boat?
Yeah, like to buy
Yeah, it just varies on the brand, like depending on the brand. I would say for a 10-person pontoon, roughly 40 to 60,000, just depending on the brand.
it's like a car. You just put like 5 or 10 grand down and then finance the rest.
Yeah, it's actually more like a house. You can do like 30-year loans on boats, so you can get your payments down pretty low.
Nice. And then you got to do the insurance and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
You register them just like you would any other boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. What are some daily non-negotiables that you do to keep your family and business and everything functioning properly?
Non-negotiables.
Non-negotiables, like things that you're just doing every day, like habits,
like with the company
or personal.
or personal.
Yeah, fitness, business.
Oh, well, fitness. So I go to Hennessy Fitness a lot. One of my good friends owns that. My wife actually teaches there on Fridays. I try to make time for that. And then I also do yoga at Hotspot. Those are like 2 fitness things that like really help me keep moving every day. Pushing boats on and off the sandbars can put a toll on the lower back. So I gotta stay loose and strong for that.
Yeah.
And also just mentally, it just like really, really helps the stress of owning a small business. There is a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot behind it, especially like I mentioned, the transition from holidays going into spring, those slow times. I always remain faith, and it's like, no, it's all going to work out, but you always want to continue to see, essentially your baby grow. So there is stress behind that.
Yeah, we had Amber on probably like 2 months ago from
Nice.
Hennessy. Yeah.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that's do you do the HIIT classes?
Yeah. Have you gone there?
Not to Hennessy. I've been to Hotspot like way back when, before they moved, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's intense.
It is.
90 degrees and everyone's like 4 inches from one another.
Yeah. Yeah. I do I do a lot of the Hot 26 practice. It's like a Bikram style, but it's a full body physical therapy. It realigns your spine.
That's
super
all right.
healing.
I've done that, yeah.
And then I do a lot of the HIIT. Amber, she really kicks your ass over there, and it's a hot room, infrared hot lighting. But yeah, I love it. It's
Yeah.
addicting. Should
Yeah,
definitely check it out.
yeah, if you wanna get slayed and, really feel sorry for yourself after about an hour, definitely try one of those HIIT classes. But they're motivating, they're fun.
They are, yeah.
Yeah, you're always, kinda at least me, I'm always a little intimidated to do it, but I'm always glad, like, after when you're laying there doing the savasana, just, like,
Yeah,
dying. It's like
I did that. I was subbing, or I was teaching for a bit there, and now I just like a sub to fill in. But I would always tell during like before Savasana, I'd always tell all the students, most people have a hard time getting up and going to a regular gym with regular temperatures. You just came to a 102-degree room and did a full workout. Like, you should just be so proud of yourself.
Mhm.
So I guess it's just a good motivation for yourself, for definitely. It shows that you can just get through whatever.
For any young people that are thinking about starting a business, any advice for them or tips?
Don't be scared to invest into your company. I've always been told you have to spend money on your company to make money with it, but also don't ever give up. There's gonna be so many hills to climb where you're gonna be like, "Am I gonna make it? Is this gonna work out?" And I promise, when you get to that top and you keep fighting for it, it will work out. You just cannot give up. There's so many times where you're gonna just be like, "Okay, this isn't working out. Shouldn't have done this. Maybe I should sell everything now." And don't do that. If you just keep moving forward, and it will work out.
Well
With
said.
luck.
Well said, yeah. I don't have anything to add to that. You're a surfer, right?
Yeah, love surfing.
What's your dream surf destination? If you could, go to anywhere in the world for a week, where would you go to surf?
French colonies, probably. That'd be sick. There, and then me and my wife been talking about going to Bali. Just
Bali, yeah.
going to a couple different islands and getting
I
some.
heard you could ball out in Bali. Like, it's super
Yeah,
affordable. Like,
yeah. In October, it's super slow for us, so I'll usually like plan like a little solo surf trip. And I went to Santa Teresa, Costa Rica last year. I met these Australian dudes, and that's what they do. They go to Bali all the time, and they go to Japan to snowboard, and they go to Bali to surf and hang out. And
you guys should go together.
this is so affordable.
Taylor's a pro surfer.
Yeah, nice, dude. Awesome.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah,
Well, thanks for coming on, man.
man.
Best of luck.
Absolutely. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, best of luck to your business, and it's about to get busy, I'm sure. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, plan a day. Figure out a time, a day, get a group of people together. I'd love to take you out.
for sure, man. Well, thanks for coming on, Grant. Yeah.
Absolutely.
If people want to book you, what Wake2Wake?
Yeah, it's a Wake2Wake FL. And then social media, we have Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. And then you can book directly on our website. So Wake2WakeFL.com.
Nice. Thanks for coming on, guys. Get after it. Peace.
See you guys.
All right.
Awesome, man.